Hello and welcome to my second part of this career mode, and here we are for the Chinese Grand Prix, and this is qualifying one. And as you can see, everybody set a time now and there's only 1 minute to go. And you may be thinking, why aren't you going out? Well, it rained, and as you can see, everybody who's out on track is on intermediate tyres, so there's no point in going out and trying to beat my time on the dry tyres. So I decided to retire, and what do you know, Hamilton's fastest and we are P18, which is not too bad. As you can see, we're beating we've beaten Van Dorn and Verline, so we've beaten our teammate and a McLaren Honda, which isn't so impressive when you think about it, but it's a good start to my career mode anyway. And Hamilton's on pole for this race. He got a great time in Q3. Vettel starts alongside him, followed by Raikkonen and Bottas. So a pretty normal grid if it really were to be mixed up with difficult and mixed conditions. Then you would expect maybe something different, but it's pretty much a standard grid for today's race. No big surprises at all, really. But as you can see, it is raining still. So we'll be starting on the intermediate tyres, but as you can see, with the weather forecast then, it is going to turn dry a little bit later on in this race, and that could possibly help us to try and outsmart the AI in their strategy. So here we go then, we're on to the formation lap. So what do we expect from this Grand Prix? Well, I'm aiming for a point. It's gonna be difficult, I know, to get a point in the Sauber, but look what happened in Australia last time out, so nothing is impossible. Who knows, we could win this Grand Prix if everybody takes each other out into turn one and I don't know, sail through into the lead, you know. Although the chances of that happening are 1 out of a million. Not even that, I think it'll be even more. But anyway, enough about the odds and trying to bet on who's gonna win this race. It's time to start the Chinese Grand Prix. Verline lines up in his grid slot and it's time to start. The 5 lights are going on, and when they go out, the Chinese Grand Prix go, and we get off to a good start there, and we get an even better start, it looks, as we get the slipstream off Jolyon Palmer, and Hulkenberg's going for a move on Ocon. And look, where can we go here? They're all blocking the road for us, but there's a gap. There's a huge gap there, and we go down the inside of about 100 cars there into turn one, the long right-hander. Now it's a long left-hander, and we're on the outside here, so we can't really make any positions here as Stroll has covered us off, and in front of him is Grosjean. So now, could we possibly send it down the inside here? And we do. We get past about another 50 cars, it seems, and we're up into P5 now. So we're in the same position that we finished the Australian Grand Prix in. And if we... virtual safety cars come out. Okay, so we got a virtual safety car. But if we finished here, that would mean we'd score 20 points. But remember, we've got Verstappen behind us, and you know how easily Verstappen managed to get past us after the safety car rolled into the pits and racing resumed in Australia. But this is a different situation. Of course, it's wet, and remember, we were really fast in the wet conditions here, so this could be interesting. And look at Bottas, we're not too far behind him, although you have to say it's only been 30 seconds of racing before it was all neutralized with this virtual safety car. But I believe Hamilton's still leading the race, followed by Vettel, and Raikkonen is in 3rd place. So I thought Bottas would get past Raikkonen at the start. I thought Bottas was a faster driver, but it seems like Codemasters have somehow made Raikkonen, you know, in terms of pace, the fastest, because he seems to be winning every in every single other career mode that I've been watching. But in mine, it seems to be Hamilton and Raikkonen there, faster than Bottas at the moment, but Bottas could possibly get by. And so the safety car, I mean not the safety car, the virtual safety car has gone away, and Verstappen there trying to make a move down the outside, but we've covered him off there. And that was pretty much the story of this first half of the race, as Hamilton sets another fastest lap there. We just managed to get the inside line here, and we're heading into the pits now, skipping ahead to lap 13, and we go a bit wide there, but hopefully we should make that time up as we decide to go onto the dry tyres. So we are the first car to fit on the dry tyres, and hopefully it will pay off big time, as I noticed there's a little bit of spray, but it seems as if it is dry enough for these medium tyres. So we end up in P15 there, just behind Felipe Massa, who's on the intermediate tyre. So this will be a good indication of whether we've made the right call or not if we manage to catch up to Felipe Massa. So here we are heading into the first few corners. Of course, these tyres are quite cold here, and we're not getting the grip that we wanted, but coming out of this corner we've got good traction here, so it's all looking very positive at the moment. And keep an eye on Massa and the gap times, the sector times, sorry, and see if we can manage to catch up to Massa. And well, hopefully we'll manage to leapfrog Verstappen and all those other cars, maybe even, just maybe, a Mercedes or a Ferrari if we're lucky. And well, because I don't think that they'll double stack, and DRS is enabled, so just like in Australia, we pit at the exact time the race director thinks that the track is dry enough for DRS to be enabled. So we've made the right call yet again, and here we go then. Everybody's coming into the pits, and it's going to be P11, P10, P9, P8, P7. So we're up into P7, of course. More cars having to pit, so this could be really good for our position here in this Chinese Grand Prix. Hulkenberg still going out there, so obviously Renault have given priorities to Palmer for some reason, which is a bit odd, but anyway, you can see Hulkenberg there. We set a purple sector 1, so we are absolutely on fire here today. And Hulkenberg there is struggling for grip here, coming out of that long right-hander, and we managed to get him even before the DRS detection thingy. There it is, and DRS is activated here for us, even though it looks a little bit wet. But yeah, we're up into P6 now, and Kvyat there in P5, obviously having to pit as well. So that will be P5 for us, and that will be fantastic as we now go through the final corner here. And yeah, it's just Kvyat who's pitting. And as you can see there, we set the fastest lap of the race. Obviously other people haven't managed to get a decent lap time in, so we'll just have to wait and see if we actually have the pace to win this race. I doubt it though. But we got yellow flags there, just behind us in fact. So what happened there? As Grosjean has managed to get in front of Verstappen here, and Verstappen's trying to fight him back, and Verstappen spun, and he's hit the side of Grosjean. So there's been an accident there, and well, Verstappen managed to collect it all together, but not in time to avoid the side of Grosjean. So that is Grosjean now with a little bit of side bodywork damage. So we've got unfortunate news here, as Verline has retired, and a couple of laps later, here's Stoffel Van Dorn getting lapped there by a Mercedes, and there goes the Ferrari as he pulls off to the side of the track, and that is his race over. And we go down the inside here of Ricciardo. It's lap 31 here, and so Verline and Van Dorn are out of this race, and we decide it's time to make a pit stop, and so does everybody else behind me, as look how many cars there are piling into the pits here, and we decide it is too risky to bring these medium tyres to the end of the race, and which is unfortunate because we could have gone super soft, but it seems as if we are going to have to make another pit stop, and so we put on the soft tyres then, and a couple of laps later here we got Verstappen piling into the side of, I think that was Hulkenberg there, and what on earth was Verstappen doing there? What a crash that was, and I don't think that anyone retired there. I think it was just a lucky, fortunate situation there, when hardly any damage was done. But still, as we take a look at a replay to try and analyse what happened there, we definitely need to see what happened to Hulkenberg. And here's Hulkenberg out of the circuit boundaries, and he's just waiting for everybody to go by. What a very sportsmanship type of thing to do there, to let everybody through so no more accidents are caused. And here's the race leader, Lewis Hamilton, getting held up in traffic. And who's holding them all up? Well, it's me, obviously. So we're about to get lapped by Hamilton, and so is everybody else here in this train. And here on board with Stroll, you can really see how big of a queue this is. It's a trolley train, but it's not. It's a ball boy train, really. But for some reason, I've managed to get a little bit of a gap here to Stroll and the cars behind, but not anymore, as here comes Massa sending it down the outside, and we've covered him off again. And it is lap 54 out of 56, and Hamilton's on his final lap, I believe. We've been lapped, well, nearly twice here, and well, Hamilton's going to win this race, but we've still got another lap to go. So it's between me and Massa now. We are the only cars here yet to cross the finish line, as I believe Vettel, Bottas and Raikkonen have finished. And well, here we go then. Massa's managed to get ahead, unfortunately, but he's getting held up by Hamilton, who's waving to the crowd here, celebrating his victory. Kvyat trying to make a move on Massa here, which is good for us, because Kvyat has been lapped twice and we've only been lapped once, so Kvyat has already finished this race. So here we go then. As we can see, the time limit there will not impact on us at all, really. We'll finish before that counts down to 0. And well, Massa's going to have DRS here, so this is really crucial for us to make sure we manage to just fend off Massa here for P5. So we could essentially crash into Massa and have a huge crash, or have some kind of engine failure, and we'd still finish in at least P6. So already a great result, but we want to make sure we get this P5. Here comes Massa there. A slight contact was made, but we're going to go down the inside, as we have throughout the whole entirety of this race, and it looks like we are going to get P5. Wow, what a great start to the season. 2 fifth places, 20 points for Sauber. Unfortunately, my teammate having retired from both races so far, but well done to myself, I have to say, to get P5. And wow, that is going to be absolutely fantastic for our championship charge to overtake the likes of McLaren, Honda, and possibly even now we could be thinking about Force India, Toro Rosso and Renault, maybe even Williams. So Hamilton then wins the Chinese Grand Prix, so it's 2 out of 2 so far. He's having a great start to the season, and well, Vettel there in second place again, followed by Bottas, who picks up his first points of the season, as he had that tyre issue in Australia. Very unfortunate for him, but because Mercedes now have a 1-3 in this race, they now lead the Constructors' Championship, and we'll see what the standings are in just a moment. But Ferrari have really got to be thinking about making some upgrades here to try and outdevelop Mercedes, because they know that their car is not as quick as the Mercedes at the moment. So here are the results then. You know, the top 4 really, or the top 6. Bottas managed to get ahead of Raikkonen there, and that was the only big changer really inside of that top 4. And so we got Massa in 6th there, Kvyat 7th, Sainz there, getting some good points there, and unfortunately I cut ahead there too early on. But anyway, I guess there's a good benefit there to YouTube where you can rewind and see the results there. So as you can see, we're actually progressing there with our reputation with other teams. And here are the standings. So Hamilton has a big comfortable lead there in the championship. And there we go. We haven't got any trophies for podiums, but it's still looking good for us here. And well, it's been a good start for Toro Rosso as well, I have to say. And that is the end of this video. So the next one is the Bahrain Grand Prix. Should be a terrible race for us because I am not too good around Bahrain, to be honest with you, and having a year-old Ferrari engine won't really help us. So anyway, that has been this video. Until next time, which is the Bahrain Grand Prix, thanks for watching, and until next time, goodbye.